Hello and welcome back. As always, my name is Leyzar and today we're gonna talk a little bit more about Rexxar, the first ever ranged warrior to enter the Nexus. And to be frank with you guys, I'm starting to wish he hadn't in the first place. Before we start, you should know that all information presented in this video is relevant at the time of publishing. I don't know when you could actually be watching this. So the technical side of Rexxar right now is that he's extremely bugged. Let's take a few talents for example. At level 1 you have globe gathering talents, hunter-gatherer and survivalist training. Unfortunately, if an allied hero picks up the globe and you get it as well, it might not actually count towards 2 of these talents. Moving on, at level 7, throwing axes doesn't do anything. It's supposed to increase your basic attack range by 25%. Unfortunately, it does absolutely jack. Now, another thing you should know is Misha's AI is completely horrible, like nobody actually beta tested this guy before release. Misha constantly body blocks you and sometimes even pushes you a little bit out of the way. If you're mounted or if you're just moving along through the battlefield, you'll see that Misha has a habit of actually getting in your way. Another thing you should note is that when actually trying to stand in a bush, there's a very good possibility that Misha will refuse to stand in a bush with Rexxar and stand outside. Good luck trying to gank somebody with that attitude. Can you get her inside the bush? Yes, you can. If you click like a madman and try it like 50,000 times, then it might actually stand in the bush with you. On Tomb of the Spider Queen, for example, Misha actually has the capability of gathering gems for herself. Obviously, she cannot turn in though. So what happens to the gems she has? If an opposing hero actually kills Misha, the gems she had are completely gone. They don't drop on the ground, they are not re-attainable, they just disappear. And these are just a few examples. If you look on Reddit, on Heroes Nexus and so on and so forth, you'll see people giving plenty more examples. However, the bugs I outlined, I tested and encountered myself. Now moving on, I'm gonna tell you what I can tell you about Rexxar, what actual viable choices you have in talents and when you should pick them. But keep in mind that he is still bugged and this is in no way, shape or form the way it should be played. We have no way of knowing that until Blizzard gets the thumb out and actually fixes the issues with Rexxar. So at level 1, from my point of view, there are 2 viable options: Flare if the opposing team has cloakers and you don't have a better way of dealing with them, or Hunter-Gatherer if it actually would have worked correctly. At level 4, we're gonna go for Hungry Bear. Misha basic attacks heal her for 4% of her maximum health, or Crippling Talent increases Spirit Swoop's slow amount to 40% and its duration to 3 seconds. At level 7, I would love to take Throwing Axes, but again, it doesn't work, so I can't play around with it. Aspect of the Beast is my favorite choice. Misha's basic attacks lower the cooldown of Misha Charge, her AoE stun, by 2 seconds. At level 10, these are 2 very different ultimate. Bestial Wrath is better for focusing down a specific target, while Unleash the Boars can serve as a crappy engage or a very good disengage. At level 13, Wildfire Bear, Misha deals damage per second to nearby enemies, or Thrill of the Hunt increases your basic attack. Your basic attacks increase both you and Misha's movement speed for 25% for 2 seconds. Now these are the 2 popular choices at this point. My personal favorite, however, is Bare Necessities. If Misha Charge doesn't hit an enemy hero, it can be cast again for free in the next 3 seconds. I actually used the first charge to actually get Misha in position, in perfect position, or try to get her in perfect position for an actual AoE stun. In Heroes of the Storm, an AoE stun is a big deal and I try to maximize that. At level 16, from my point of view, there's one clear choice: Feign Death. Fake your death, becoming invulnerable and untargetable for 5 seconds. During this time, you theoretically control Misha. Now, Primal Intimidation at actual high levels is pointless, and to be honest, Feign Death when you're as paper thin as Rexxar is kind of what you have to pick. At level 20, Hardened Skin. If you're the actual tank on your team, you're gonna have a hard time anyway, but if you are, you should take Hardened Skin. You and Misha take 75% less damage for 4 seconds. Like I mentioned earlier, Rexxar is paper thin. Frenzy of Calendar can work, especially if you're in a team with more than you as an actual warrior, where basic attacks deal 10% more damage and Misha's basic attacks slow the target for 20% for 1.5 seconds. This will allow Misha to better stick to her target if she doesn't get crowd control, that is. Kill Command, I played around with this, it's okay, but not really. If your targets actually seem to be getting away from you always in a team fight, then you might actually go for this. Spirit Bond is nice, Spirit Bond is cool. Again, your main weapon is Misha, and you should amplify her abilities as much as you can. Now, as a conclusion to Rexxar, most players consider him underwhelming, and having played him a fair bit myself, I can understand why that is. But if you absolutely must play Rexxar right now, focus your build around Misha. Misha is the star, Misha is the damage dealer, Misha is your weapon, so increase her sustain, her damage, her mobility, and this is how you actually can get the most out of Rexxar at this point. But my honest recommendation to you guys is hold off on buying this hulking mess. Let's give Blizzard a chance to actually pull the thumb out and fix the issues with Rexxar, and then we'll go from there. I cannot do a proper build guide, nor can I actually pay any attention to other build guides considering the state of the hero. He's way too bugged, okay, and has too many issues for us to actually get an accurate indication, an accurate feeling for his overall potential. Can Rexxar work in ranked at this point? Yes, he can be viable, but in the same way a paper bag can hold water, it can work. Sure, you can make it work, but it's not what you want to do. And to be frank, I am having a hard time of actually finding a situation, a scenario where I could not find at least 2 better picks than Rexxar. Okay, is there anything good about Rexxar? I have to say yes. His jungle capabilities are pretty good indeed. However, in Heroes of the Storm, there's not a big emphasis put on jungling. We don't fully have the battlegrounds to take complete advantage of a jungling hero, so it's a bit pointless right now to completely go full jungle with Rexxar. If that will change in the future, maybe he will gain more viability, but at this point, no. And that's pretty much all that can be said at this point. Overall, a very underwhelming experience and a very underpowered hero. However, I believe that his full potential is still locked away behind the wall of bugs, and as soon as Blizzard actually fixes the issues with Rexxar, maybe they will even give him a little bit of a buff because he kinda needs it. I will be back on him to do further playtesting and bring you guys, like I always do, a full build guide with concrete information. But until next time guys, my name has been Leyzar, thank you for watching, like, favorite, share and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and I will definitely see you again soon.